Varicose vein relief, the 5-minute evening ritual for heavy, tired legs. Observe the remarkable transformation presented here. The legs depicted in the initial image are the same legs just 2 weeks later, showcasing a significant difference achievable with a mere 5 minutes of dedicated effort each day. All that is required are 2 ordinary pillows from your couch and a single straightforward exercise designed to reawaken and invigorate the blood flow within your legs. My friends, if you find yourself experiencing that familiar sensation of leg heaviness as the day draws to a close, as if you've been standing at the kitchen counter for an interminable stretch, or if your ankles begin to betray the telltale signs of swelling, leaving the distinct imprint of your sock elastic even at dinner time. If you've started noticing the subtle appearance of small blue veins on your shins, or the more concerning emergence of larger bulging veins creeping their way up your thighs, then this video is precisely for you. Today I will refrain from reiterating, for the 100th time, the myriad causes of varicose veins. The internet is saturated with countless videos dedicated to this topic, and it's highly probable that you've already consumed dozens of them. Yet the discomfort in your legs persists. Why? Because while many individuals are well acquainted with the underlying reasons for their leg ailments, remarkably few possess the practical knowledge of what can be effectively done about it within the comfort of their own homes. Therefore, here is our strategy. I will guide you through a singular exercise. No complex machinery will be needed, no pills will be prescribed, and no elaborate equipment will be required. All you need is yourself, 2 common pillows, and access to a wall. This particular method boasts a history spanning over half a century. Its efficacy is well documented within respected medical handbooks, and its effectiveness is further substantiated by rigorous clinical research, the links to which I will provide in the description below for your perusal. However, before we delve into the specifics of the exercise itself, a brief but crucial word of caution is in order. This exercise is exceptionally effective at promoting blood circulation through your veins. As such, there are a select few circumstances where it is advisable to postpone or avoid undertaking it. If you have previously received a diagnosis of deep vein thrombosis, have experienced blood clots, or suffer from thrombophlebitis, it is imperative that you refrain from performing this exercise until you have obtained explicit clearance from your medical practitioner. Similarly, if you have undergone any recent surgical procedures on your legs or blood vessels, the same principle applies. Consult your doctor first and then consider the exercise. For those individuals who are over the age of 45 and have not had their venous health assessed in a considerable period, it would be prudent to discuss the possibility of undergoing a venous ultrasound with your doctor. This is a simple, non-invasive procedure that requires no special preparation and is typically offered by most clinics, offering valuable peace of mind before commencing any new regimen. For all other individuals who are in good health and have no pre-existing venous concerns, you are welcome to proceed. And one final minor request before we all get down onto the floor. If the subject matter of this video resonates with you and holds personal importance, please show your support by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Each like serves as a vital signal to YouTube, indicating that this content is valuable and helpful, prompting it to be recommended to a wider audience. In doing so, this video can reach yet another individual who is grappling with aching legs and is unsure of what steps to take. This is how we can collectively contribute to the well-being not only of ourselves, but also of others. Thank you for your consideration. Now let us proceed to the core of the matter. Here's what you will need for this simple yet effective practice. The requirements are minimal. Firstly, you will need an unobstructed stretch of wall, ideally measuring approximately 6 feet in width. This dimension is important because, as you will discover, when you spread your legs apart, ample space is necessary for optimal execution of the movement. A confined area will simply not suffice. Secondly, a yoga mat or a comfortably folded blanket will be beneficial. Reclining directly on a bare floor can be both uncomfortable and chilly, and our aim is to ensure you are as relaxed as possible throughout the exercise. Lastly, you will need 2 pillows. These can be any regular pillows readily available from your sofa or bed, whatever you have at your disposal within your home. Alright, now let us move on to the actual exercise itself. Begin by positioning yourself with your back to the wall. Lay your mat down, ensuring it is placed directly against the base of the wall. Next, stack your two pillows, one atop the other, at the very bottom of the wall, resting upon the mat. Now, gently lie down on your back, bringing your feet to rest against the wall. While maintaining this position, carefully slide your shoulder blades along the length of the mat. Scoot yourself in, a little closer to the wall so that your tailbone, that distinct bony protuberance located just above your buttocks, rests comfortably on top of the stacked pillows. If you find yourself unable to achieve this precise positioning immediately, please do not be discouraged. This is entirely normal. Simply lie down as close to the wall as you can, and then, with gentle movements, ease the pillows underneath you until you reach the desired placement. The paramount consideration here is to ensure that there is absolutely no pressure being exerted on your lower back. It is quite remarkable to consider this. The exercise has effectively begun to work its magic even before any actual physical movement has taken place. Observe what is happening to your body. Your hips are now elevated, and your entire body is in a state of profound relaxation. Gravity is gently assisting in drawing your mesentery, the connective tissue that supports and holds your internal organs in place, upwards towards your diaphragm. This elevation of your pelvic area allows it to open up. Consequently, blood is already beginning to naturally drain away from your legs, solely due to the passive force of gravity. This is precisely the intended outcome of adopting this position. Allow yourself to remain in this restful state for a duration of 30 seconds. Focus on breathing calmly and deeply through your nose. Now, I anticipate that some of you might be contemplating a question at this very moment. Could I not achieve a similar benefit by performing a shoulder stand? Allow me to address this directly and unequivocally. No, you truly cannot, and here is the fundamental reason why. In the execution of a shoulder stand, your entire body is engaged in a state of muscular tension. Your core muscles are actively contracting, and virtually every muscle group is working strenuously. In stark contrast, the position we are adopting here represents the exact opposite scenario. Your body is completely relaxed, and your legs are being gently supported by the wall. This allows you to maintain this elevated leg position for an extended period without expending any significant physical effort. A shoulder stand, on the other hand, can be quite fatiguing and may only be sustainable for a minute or so. Here, you simply recline and allow the natural forces of gravity and relaxation to facilitate the desired effects. This distinction is absolutely fundamental to the effectiveness of this method. Before we transition to the active movements, allow me to offer a couple of brief points of guidance. Should you experience a sensation of mild dizziness or a faint throbbing in your temples, please do not be alarmed. This is perfectly normal. It is simply an indication that blood is beginning to flow more freely towards your upper body. In such instances, simply remain in the position for the initial 30 seconds, then gently rise, stand for a brief moment, and subsequently return to the exercise. Your body will naturally acclimatize to this increased blood flow after a few repetitions. All right, now let us commence the active phase of the exercise, focusing on engaging your leg muscles. Gently lift your legs away from the wall and extend them outwards, spreading them apart as wide as your comfortable range of motion allows. Following this, actively pull your toes back towards your face, and then bring your legs back together. Therefore, the sequence of movements should be as follows. Spread your legs wide, pull your toes towards your face, bring your legs back together, repeat this. Spread, pull toes towards you, close, spread, toes towards you, close. The absolute key to maximizing the benefit of this particular movement lies in executing it with a full range of motion, not a partial one. It is only by fully extending and contracting your leg muscles that you will truly feel your calf muscles activate and engage. This engagement is crucial for what we refer to as the calf pump, which I will elaborate on shortly. Simultaneously, by spreading your legs as widely as possible, you are effectively opening up the groin folds. This precise area is critical for facilitating the return of blood flow from your legs back towards your heart. Aim to perform this spreading and closing movement for approximately 1.5 to 2 minutes. The duration should be sufficient for you to genuinely feel the engagement of your muscles. Excellent, that is precisely the sensation we are aiming for. Now, with your legs thoroughly warmed up and actively engaged, allow me to demonstrate how to elevate the intensity and further enhance the benefits of this exercise. We will perform a variation of the previous movement, but instead of simply opening and closing, we will now introduce circular motions. Keep both legs moving in unison, drawing large, expansive circles in the air, utilizing the widest reach you can comfortably achieve. Dedicate 30 seconds to performing these circles in one direction, and then another 30 seconds in the opposite direction. You will immediately notice how this specific motion further enhances the opening of your groin folds, leading to even greater circulatory benefits. And now for one final highly beneficial movement that I am particularly eager to share with you, the bicycle. I suspect I do not need to provide an extensive explanation of what this entails. After all, most of us have fond memories of riding bicycles in our childhood. Simply pedal your legs in the air as if you were riding a conventional bicycle. However, there is a crucial detail that many individuals tend to overlook. First, engage in the pedaling motion in the forward direction for 30 seconds, just as you would normally. Then, and this part is absolutely essential, reverse your pedaling motion and cycle backward for 30 seconds, moving in the opposite direction. This deliberate reverse motion is what targets and effectively works those muscles that might not be fully engaged during regular pedaling. And with that, the active portion of the exercise has concluded. However, resist the urge to get up just yet. Gently return your legs to their resting position against the wall and simply allow yourself to relax there for an additional minute. Keep your body relaxed and your breathing easy. I understand that it might feel as though the workout is complete, but the beneficial effects are continuing to unfold. Blood and accumulated fluids are still undergoing redistribution, and your veins are actively recovering. This final minute of quiet repose is just as vital to the overall efficacy of the exercise as the active movements themselves. Please do not skip this crucial phase. Allow me to share a couple more points that might initially seem surprising. You may notice that your feet begin to feel cold during the exercise. This is a perfectly normal sensation and should not cause alarm. In fact, it is a positive indicator that blood has indeed been effectively mobilized out of your legs and is flowing upwards towards your heart, which is precisely where we want it to be. To mitigate any potential discomfort from cold feet, consider wearing a pair of warm socks before you begin the exercise. And finally, let us address the proper method for transitioning out of this elevated leg position. It is strongly advised that you do not simply jump up. Instead, gently bring your legs down off the wall, bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. Then carefully roll over onto your right side and remain in that position for approximately 30 seconds. Following this, slowly sit up. Remain seated for another 5 to 10 seconds before standing up with a gentle and gradual movement. The optimal time to perform this exercise is on an empty stomach, ideally first thing in the morning before you have consumed breakfast. If you opt to perform it in the evening, it is essential to wait for at least 2 to 3 hours after your last meal. However, there is a second, equally important consideration for evening practice. Ensure that you complete the exercise at least 1 hour prior to going to bed, and not any later. Allow me to explain why this timing is critical. This exercise significantly enhances the movement of blood and fluid away from your legs, which in turn prompts your kidneys to increase their filtering activity, leading to a redistribution of fluids throughout your body. If you were to perform this exercise immediately before retiring for the night, you might find yourself waking up multiple times during the night to use the bathroom. Therefore, while an evening session is perfectly acceptable, it should not be done in close proximity to your bedtime. The question of duration is also important. Begin by committing to 1 to 2 minutes of the exercise. There is no need to attempt to push yourself beyond your current capacity. Your body requires time to adapt to the sudden shift of blood flow from your legs upwards towards your head. You might experience a brief sensation of lightheadedness or a subtle thumping in your temples, and this is perfectly normal. After a few days of consistent practice, you will likely find yourself comfortably able to extend the duration to 3 minutes. By the end of the first week, you should be able to comfortably perform the full 5 minutes. And here's a particularly useful tip. You are not obligated to complete the entire 5 minutes in one continuous session. If that feels too demanding initially, you can effectively break it down into smaller intervals. For instance, you could lie in the elevated position for 90 seconds or 2 minutes, then stand up for approximately 30 seconds to allow blood to flow back into your legs, and then return to the elevated position for another 90 seconds. By employing this approach, you will still achieve the same beneficial outcomes. And for the majority of individuals, this segmented method feels significantly more manageable, especially during the initial days of practice. Furthermore, this back and forth movement actually serves a beneficial purpose. It helps to train your blood vessels to respond more effectively to these shifts in blood flow. The final and perhaps most critical element for achieving lasting results is consistency. It is highly recommended that you incorporate this exercise into your routine twice daily, once in the morning and once in the evening. The morning session serves to invigorate your legs and prepare them for the day ahead, while the evening session effectively helps to alleviate any accumulated swelling and fatigue that may have built up throughout the day. Crucially, there should be no days off, no skipping. If your goal is to witness noticeable results within a 2-week timeframe, then daily practice is non-negotiable. To further amplify the positive effects of this routine, consider an additional step: a contrast shower for your legs after you have completed the exercise and risen from the floor. To be perfectly clear, I am not advocating for ice baths or extreme cold plunges, especially for individuals over the age of 60, as these can pose significant risks to cardiac health. Instead, approach this with moderation. Begin by directing warm water onto your legs, extending up to your knees, for a period of 30 seconds. Subsequently, transition to noticeably cooler water for 15 seconds. Repeat this cycle 3 times, always concluding with the application of cool water. This practice is instrumental in maintaining the tone and elasticity of your veins. This technique is known as the Kneipp method, a simple form of hydrotherapy that has been utilized for over a century. In Germany, it remains an integral component of varicose vein management to this day. Furthermore, a comprehensive systematic review conducted in 2023 has provided evidence supporting its beneficial effects. However, a note of caution is warranted. If you suffer from high blood pressure, it may be advisable to forgo this specific hydrotherapy method and consult with your doctor for personalized guidance. So, there you have it, my friends. 2 pillows, a commitment of 5 minutes, and the occasional contrast shower. Consistent daily practice without exception for a dedicated period of 2 weeks. You can expect to notice the lifting of evening heaviness within 3 to 4 days. Swelling should subside within a week. The appearance of spider veins will begin to fade over 2 to 3 weeks. The larger, more prominent, veins will gradually shrink and cease to cause discomfort. While complete disappearance may take several months, you will undoubtedly observe significant and encouraging progress. This is not a matter of magic. It is a direct application of physiological principles. You are essentially reactivating a vital pump that had become sluggish and underutilized. All the scientific studies and supporting research are readily available in the description section below. I encourage you to review them at your leisure and verify the information presented. Please feel free to leave a comment below, sharing which particular movement you found most challenging and how your legs are feeling as a result. I make it a point to read every single comment. Remember, acquiring knowledge without taking action remains merely information. It holds no power to heal. And if you found this video to be helpful and informative, please do not forget to express your appreciation by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I extend my sincere wishes for your continued leg health and look forward to seeing you in the next video.